Thank you. Growing up, I dealt with hatred, racism, and severe bullying. When I was 5 years old, my parents moved me and my brother up from the Bay Area to Lake County, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with Lake County. I was in the first grade there, and there were kids that had never seen a Black person before. Matter of fact, a school of K through 12, one big school of about 800 kids, there were 6 Black kids in the entire school. So kids on a daily basis would call me stupid and ugly and tell me how I would never amount to anything because I'm Black and ugly, and I would be called the N-word, and they would spit on me and pull my hair. And I started to feel like I was ugly, and I was very ashamed of the color of my skin. I felt stupid, like I didn't belong. I was very lonely, and I felt very invisible. When I was about 7 years old, my teacher, her name is Sydney Dixon, used to find me hiding behind a big oak tree where the kids wouldn't find me and bully me. And one day she said, come to my classroom at your lunch. And at lunch, I went to her classroom, and the next day, and she put a trumpet in my hands. And every day at lunch, she taught me how to play the trumpet. And what was really great for that is because it was a way for me to have an outlet and a way to let go of all the pain and turmoil that I was going through as a little kid. And when I was 8 years old, I started playing with the high school band, and the high schoolers became my friends and my protectors. And they would, stop the bullies when they would come after me, and they would stick up for me and come to my rescue. And it made me realize how important it is, how one person can really make a difference in someone's life. And I started feeling confident, and I felt smart and determined and hopeful. I felt very free. I felt beautiful. And most of all, I felt absolutely loved. And I carried those feelings with me for the rest of my life, and realized that I wanted to make sure that I pay that forward. And going through high school and middle school, I continued in music and playing drums and piano and performing. Went to high school, finished high school and went to college. I started off in Sonoma State University and in the music and recording arts program. And I was there from 93 until about 97. But in 96, I started working for a roofing company because I was super broke in college. And so I started working for that company, which eventually led me to being able to start my own company, which is called ARS Roofing and Gutters. I love the curtains. And it was a great opportunity for me. I was in my early 20s when I started my company, after running a business for 8 years. But I was back in that same hiding phase that I was as a kid, being the only female at that time, especially in roofing. But a Black female woman of color was not, it was not necessarily inviting to other people. And I had a lot of contractors that gave me a lot of grief, and I was hiding again. And I used to purposely sign my name L.R. Hanke, so that way people would think that I was a man. I thought maybe they would do business with me if they thought I was a man and not a woman. And again, I was hiding my face. I was hiding who I was. This was an actual card of mine. I was trying to be as masculine as I could to just fit in and blend in, until one day I had a meeting with a client who, over the phone, we had a great rapport, and they were wanting to go with my contract and sign with my company until they met me. And when they met me, it was a very different story. When I went to their house, and they decided that they didn't want to do the job with me. And when I walked out of the house, the husband actually came to the door and said that they had an alarm system on their house, and it would go off really loud if anyone tried to break in. And that was a turning point for me in my life, because I realized that I didn't need to deal with people that wanted to be racist or have hatred in any way. And I went back to my office, I shredded their contract, and then I also rebranded my entire business. I started signing my name, Letitia Hanke. I put my face on literally everything. I called Kelly, I said, Kelly, I want my face on everything. And Kelly helped me to do that. And it helped me to embrace who I am. And it brought me back again to back in my day when I was bullied as a kid. And I said I was going to stand up to those bullies and prove to them every single day that I will amount to something and I will make something of myself. And so I realized there's a lot of young people and people out there that are experiencing that same thing. And so I started my nonprofit called the Lime Foundation to help these people. And some of you may know, and some of you may not know, Lime is my son's name spelled backwards, Emil. And he experienced the same turmoil that I did when he was 7 years old. It was the first time that he was called the N-word, and he came to me and said, Mom, why do people hate me? And sorry. And I just wanted to be there for him and let him know that he needed to stand up for those bullies. Even when they called him Lime, Lime is not the worst thing to be called, but it was a form of bullying. And I told him he needed to stand up for himself. And that's why the Lime Foundation exists today, because I realized very early on that young people especially are in need of someone that will be there for them and someone that will mentor them into the people that they were meant to be and the people that they can be, even if they're told by friends, peers, family members that they'll never amount to anything or never be anything in life. They need someone that will tell them that they can and they will be. And that's what we do with the Lime Foundation. And I just wanted you guys to see the lives that we have changed. And you can know that when you refer ARS Roofing, you're not just referring a roofer, you're referring someone who truly cares about them and cares about their community. So thank you very much. Oh, good. Thank you.